helping you to weather good and bad economies without putting retirement on hold. This is the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo. Ken and his son Nick know that creating a comprehensive financial plan can align your hard-earned life savings with your retirement goals. Consider them your retirement architects. Now, the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo.
So, Ken, before the closeout of 2024, we were really hammering and saying you need to get in for your end-of-the-year review. You need to get in for this annual review. It's so important. Now, it's 2025, and I'm sure there are people feeling a little guilty that they didn't get in for a Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup or that annual review. Is it still okay to come in for a review right now? Is it okay for a first-of-the-year review?
Of course it is. So just to give you an idea, or I should be giving listeners an idea. I know, Allie, you already know this, but we do 6-month reviews with our clients. And so clients normally end up seeing us in the last quarter or the first quarter of the year. And it's important. And for those of you that don't work with an advisor or haven't had a projection done or a Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup, I recommend you call us. Just see where you stand. And that's the biggest reason to come in. Start to figure out, are you going to be okay heading into retirement? Because the things we want to look at, and it's kind of the things that I do in reviews anyways with clients too, is where a person is now, performance, how are they set up, what's the allocation of their portfolio? Should we be making some changes because of things that are happening in the economy or the market? Have there been any spending issues? Let's put it that way. Something broke, like a boiler in the house broke and you had to spend $10,000, $20,000 to fix your heat. So we want to start to look at those things because then does that affect your retirement? Maybe all of a sudden now you don't have enough to get through retirement because you had a bunch of things happen during the year. But we want to prevent things like that. And so it's really a good time to do a checkup. Get yourself on track. Make sure that you're going to be okay going into retirement. And one of the things I will tell you a lot of times, and this has happened more times than I can count, someone comes in, a listener, and they'll come in, we'll gather their information, and they'll say, yeah, I think I got to work till I'm 70. And they're sitting across the table from us, and we're going through the numbers. They're 62. And, yeah, we gather the numbers, we have them back, and we're building out the projections and everything in between, and we're going over their checkup when they come back. And we're able to say, based on your numbers, you probably could retire at 65, not 70. And there's a big smile on their face. And the reason why I bring that up is that happens so much because there's so much misinformation out there. A lot of people go by, oh, you need $1 million to retire. You need $2 million to retire. And that's not the case. It's really based on a person's lifestyle. When you mix Social Security into it with someone's savings, a lot of times you don't need $1 million. One little fact, a lot of people over a 25-year period of time, when they start taking Social Security until about age 90, let's say, a lot of people will collect around $1 million out of Social Security. And it's just an amazing fact. So when you say you need $1 million to retire, it is pretty much true because that $1 million is pretty much going to come from Social Security. And a lot of people don't understand how much we count on Social Security through retirement. So I'm going to tell you a little quick story. I was doing a review with a client the other day, and this is where I want to say, like, the little things that come up that we don't expect. And we're doing the Zoom meeting, and I'm doing this review, and partway through the review, I'm asking them if anything big is coming up. And to find out, they have to replace one of the cars. And it's always funny because when you're talking with a husband and a wife, they don't always have the same idea. So, like, the husband's like, oh, yeah, well, our daughter's not going to be using the car anymore that she was taking to college. And the car's like 20 years old. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, you can just start taking that one to work. And she's like, but I drive an hour to work. I'm not going to drive a 20-year-old car. and it's just fun. It's like working as an advisor and hearing the stories. And his wife's like, well, no, I actually think it's time to get a new car with all the safety features and everything. I'm going to tell you, I agree with her.
Just like you drive the 20-year-old car. I'm getting a new one.
Exactly. So I kind of like, we went went through it. And so what I told them, I go, look, a lot of times when we draw money for clients and there's a big expense, to make you feel more comfortable, I do a side-by-side. And what I mean by a side-by-side is I show them if they go buy the car, what's the effect on their funds over a 25, 30-year period of time versus if you don't buy the car. And then they see the ending number. And when they see the ending number, if they buy the car, and for them it was still a lot left over, it basically showed them that it's okay to go buy the car. Just do it. It's a safety reason. And on top of it, you're putting yourself in a good spot in that car. No, and this is a couple that they keep their cars for a long time, as you can tell. So, Mike, you buy the car now, and you're probably going to have that car almost all the way through retirement. So it's actually a good investment, and plus you're protecting your wife a little bit more, and it's okay. And in retirement's okay. You can afford to do the car. But it's getting people comfortable spending in retirement so that they're not nervous that, oh, if I go do this, or if I help my daughter or my son, I'm going to run out of money in retirement, so I can't do this. And the thing is you want to be able to do those things in retirement. I mentioned a few shows back, I think I mentioned making memories. It's really, hey, if you can take that trip, do it, because you don't want to look back when you're 85 and you say, oh, I should have done that. And you want to say, I did that and I remember it. And it's the hard part. We're worried we're going to run out of money, but that's the one thing that we help our clients with is we help them spend. And it's really okay to be spending in retirement. You want to enjoy your retirement. So the big thing that I would say is for those that haven't done a review of their finances, and even if you haven't used us, it's okay to come in, take us up on that offer, that Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup. We'll look at those numbers. We'll put them in front of you. This way you'll know if you're going to be okay in retirement. Our number, 860-854-3434.
Investment advice offered through Tumolo Wealth Management, a Connecticut-registered investment advisor. Content contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice or for the purchase or sale of any security, insurance, or other investment product. Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here.